Hey, they did pretty well for themselves, staying alive until the top 40, but then again, they ended up taking the fall to Fury Roads in the end, so we'll see how that pans out here as we load on in for Game 5.
And this is the final round for these players. We drop onto Gilly Island with a good west to east plane all the way across the distance. And, ooh, that's also a very early drop coming out of Dewey C as well, as it looks like he's making his way up north towards logging camps just a bit. And very early on, once again, going to be keeping our eyes on the Fire Rose and Fury Road squad. Still want to see how Dark Frost is going to do, and A-Rob as well, if they can make the distance and end up with a top 5 finish. So far, only 2 so far today. And whether or not A-Rob actually brought the full squad back, if they're still sitting at 4 or if they're going at 3 like they did in round 4.
Well, yeah, we noticed at the end there that Small Boy did not load into the game, and Small Boy is often one of the top players when it comes to the map as far as kills go, aggression as well. So we'll see whether or not he was able to rejoin us, or maybe he had to go run and go do something, not too sure. But as we see a nice little pan out here, we got ourselves a couple claws coming into the south center of the map, but still no one heading very far north. We might see Squad 7, though, start to go for that parachute up into Observatory, but we do already see members on our kill feed going down.
Already a couple of knocks across as the zone, nice and centrally located, could keep us with some action later on as we've got a few members starting to group up. There's a knock.
Oh, no.
Is that another one? Dark Frost going down? There's
Yeah.
Raptor inside of the building looking for the up. Ooh, ends up getting knocked down and eliminated. The quick save. That's Samsoy actually getting a save. And it looks like Dark Frost, they've lost 1 member, but hey, they've got 3 this time.
Yeah, Dark Frost already getting themselves into an early skirmish. Not too sure who they went toe-to-toe with, but like you mentioned, they lose at least 1 member here. Fury Roads getting the loot on here at Bitter Lake. Looks like it's pretty quiet where they're at, though, so not a whole lot of worries. Is running around with the rubber chicken. You know, we had our discussion yesterday of you know, if Thor hit you with a squishy hammer, what if it was a rubber chicken?
That would also be appropriate because it would also make the same squeaky noise. Yeah, when it hits you with it. As you can see, Mr. Lonely right now, he's got the single most kills across of today's games at 15. He's been putting on a great performance so far, along with the rest of Just Squad. And he's been contributing a lot to the massive kill counts that these teams have had. In the past 3 rounds, they're sitting at a whopping 24 kills. 7, 7, and 10 in round 2, 3, and 4, respectively. So you really got to keep our eye on Just Team and see where they end up as the round continues to maneuver.
You just never know what you're going to get, though, as we get ourselves in a little bit closer. It's 2.5 minutes, not a lot of action taking place between the squads. It looks like, unfortunately, Dark Frost decided, hey, we ran into a team, big whoop, we were able to take down 1 or 2 members. Again, I'm not too sure how many people loaded in onto the game. It could have been 60.
Looks like Nara squad, who have lost 2 very early on. Val, 1 other companion, and he's pushing back up towards Dark Frost here. He's got himself the riot door, but let's see if he decides to continue to push and go aggressive, as he's actually sitting down in a truck. Might be trying to get lucky and catch someone looting this building here.
Do it, Val. Use the dark powers that you have and decide to hide in a bed of a truck.
Yeah.
Has himself a riot shield. He's got himself, you know, he's also in a red zone, so we'll see whether or not he gets knocked out randomly.
Might be a bit unlucky if that were to be the case.
The luck hasn't been going in a lot of these squads' favors, though. Unfortunately, they've been having to fight their way into these last circles. There's been 1 or 2 times where members have gotten themselves lucky, such as Just Team and Fury Roads, where they had to push themselves out as they're looking to regroup themselves here toward the gas station that's pretty central of the map.
Plenty of loot over here, and I believe that was a Barrett on the ground that they might have just looted here. So Fury Roads feeling pretty good with a lot of guns all stacked up. And it's Lynn along with Val, as Lynn is actually getting a very early truck to try and pick up his ally. Might be looking for a later save, as instead they're still just continuing to sit over here. Might be trying to pick off the rest of Dark Frost, which is very greedy for Nara if they decide to stay.
They say, hey, you took down my squad member. Well, I'm a little mad about that, so we want some revenge. It looks like no, Nara are said just going to go ahead and swap out some of their ammo, distribute some of the loot that Val was able to pick up, and looks like it'll be another calm early game for them now.
Only 57 players still in the game this early on. Skyzak is in range, but I don't think Skyzak is going to take any shots. I don't know that he knows that the rest of the squad is there. And yeah, there's Dark Frost on a bike starting to move in.
Raptors gotta be careful. Lane could get some quick shots on here. If that is a vehicle, that is only a bike, that's not really what you want to be riding around in the open. Oh, you can hear it coming on by, so Nara might decide to... Oh, this is gonna be a little bit ugly.
Frag grenade. He's gonna try to chuck it in through the open door.
Go for it.
Gets it low, sees some flanking from the left, shows himself as he peeks over. Now Dark Frost know that he's here. It's 2 versus 3, but Nara, they decide they want the kills. They want this action. It's very risky with the number disadvantage, and their position now spotted, but Chicken Grenade gets tossed over, and Lin pulling the truck away. Samsoy pushes up. Val looking for some damage, trying to go one-on-one. Looks for the knock and gets run over. Lin with the save. 2 versus 2, but Lin is still driving around. Can they protect Val in time? A great knock with the WRO. Skyzak gets dropped as well.
Oh.
And Dark Frost, with a numbers advantage, find themselves eliminated. The first squad out in round 5.
So Nara have some really good team play there. Dark Frost, though, I'm going to have to hammer them down on this one. That was just not a smart play at all. Trying to stay out in the open with the truck, didn't even pay attention to Lin, who was on the truck and actually crashed in behind them. Didn't even turn a bat an eye toward that truck. I'm just really confused from Dark Frost's play today, as they're going to end toward the bottom of the leaderboard overall.
Yeah, and we do have to give some points over to Val for getting the WRO shotgun shot to find himself another knock before Lin could come in with a second knock and save. So all in all, it ended up working out for Nara. Well, I'm just saying, we might have to keep our eye on that squad a little bit more if they're going to continue to play like this for the rest of the game.
So we were wondering about Small Boy. He is back here for map 5 for A-Rov, so they'll have one of their key members back into their arsenal as they're just riding the outside of the next circle, trying to see if they can get any more loot.
It really creates an interesting question that A-Rov with Small Boy are such a terrifying force. We've got to wonder if in round 2 and 3, perhaps he was also disconnected for those as well. Is he that instrumental to the A-Rov squad that he's the one who provides the momentum, he's the one who gets them a lot of action as, that's a knock onto Macker, and that's the kill, as Macker's eliminated very early on.
So that's road to victory on the top of the hill here, taking some pot shots down into Baby's compound. They actually picked off one member, and Baby now a little bit on their back foot. They're saying, okay, guys, we got to deal with somebody up here. They know they're out on the top of this hill. They got themselves the cover. RTV does have to come to them at some point, but again, it's Circle 1. RTV could honestly just take the vehicle they likely have and just come around to the other side.
Plenty of time to just wait out the clock, wait out the terrain. It was only a single kill that they managed to get, so it is a 3-member squad from from Baby that RTV are keeping an eye on. And it looks like they've got a handful of meds to keep themselves topped up inside of the zone, but looks like Downter, he's trying to peek around the side, looking for anyone from RTV to get out of position, maneuvering around the building, using that third person to take a peek.
Just sees that RTV is still taking a peek toward them. Going to go back up into the top side of this building. We'll like to see a bit of a stalemate here between these two teams, because it's really hard to actually come on over here and finish off kills while they're in the building. If anything, if RTV does feel confident, maybe we'll see them try and rush in. But instead, they're going to take pot shots at the vehicle and make it so Baby don't have an easy form of escape.
Ooh, Lion's taking a few hits. This Downter just tags him a handful of times, but like you said, getting rid of that vehicle is pretty important. If you can lock them down on this side of the map for at least a few minutes, 60 seconds, 120 seconds as time goes on, and we get towards Zone 2, Zone 3, maybe even Zone 4, that's going to be a lot of cumulative damage later on. But
on top of that, you're losing time to loot here on both of these squads. They're trapped inside of a building. You can't go anywhere to get more loot. You have to deal with RTV. And RTV in the same thing, they're focusing so much of their attention here to Baby. Is it really worth their time? They're already very far outside the next circle, so they don't have a lot of time to get themselves meds if they want to go for a med strat. Instead, they're just still eyeing down Baby here and honestly taking their time doing so.
Still plenty of time, 2 minutes before we start getting over to Zone 3. There's another buggy in the back that we already mentioned that could allow RTV to get out of here. They've got another buggy on top of the hill, so plenty of flexibility for RTV if they want to try and choose what to do. Maybe going to use the buggy to try and rush in, as Fury Roads are actually moving in towards Seal, further inland on Wind Cliff. Might be seeing an engage in action.
They jump out here. They're looking to get themselves situated across the side because they do kind of cut off Actually, no. Seal are the ones cutting them off, if I take a look. RTV, they've decided, hey, we want to go for this. Look at that damage, though. They've already taken a decent amount when they ran on over here. That's a nade going to be popping into the top floor of the building. You'll just hear it pop off. It actually almost hit the vehicle behind them. As Baby looking to see what they can do. Let's see what Lunazy tries to go.
Whoa.
Jumping outside the building. Lunazy didn't see him or something. I don't know what happened there, but Baby is lucky. I think 90 got taken on down.
Oh.
No, it's just going to be the quick shot there onto Lunazy. As Lunazy is going to get executed. RTV, they're the ones being aggressive, but now they're losing out.
It's a reckless play from RTV, trying to rush the house down, but they're losing members. That's Slurpee getting dropped, and RTV getting completely eliminated. Baby, the three-man squad, set up a defensive position and just hold it, and RTV funnel themselves into the maw. Meanwhile, Lin finds himself out of position. He gets dropped down by Fire Rose as they find themselves another kill.
Lin just jumps out the top floor of the building. I'm not sure what the plan was there, but now they're just going to look and hunt down the last member here. That's Val, who's going to be hiding behind this door. Grenade comes out. It's not going to land. Still has to wait for that fuse time, as he did not cook the grenade at all. Does Val actually have the time to get himself out of trouble here? Looks to try and get himself on top of the roof, looking to do some parkour, but instead he gets taken on down by Akeem, who's already waiting outside.
Yeah, looks like Val tried to jump the window, but another man was watching the exit and was able to find himself a kill. Now Fire Rose, it looks like they're still taking some fire over here, as Just Squad has set up on a building just across the street and is continuing to fire shots across. Mr. Lonely healing up as he's continuing to monitor Fire Rose inside of this building, but they are pinned down. Luckily, though, they're inside of the zone. So Fire Rose find themselves 2 quick kills under the remaining members of the Nara Esports squad, and now find themselves a good position across from Just Squad.
Nice to see Fire Rose here, able to survive. They're just on the side here of Bitter Lake. Still, like you mentioned, deep within this next circle, so not a whole lot of movement required. They can look to wait this one out if they wish to. Just Team can do quite likely the same, so I don't see any shots likely coming on over. And we just saw what happens when a team tries to force something onto a barricaded area like we saw with RTV. Unfortunately, they got themselves caught out. They got all put together, and then Baby was able to clean them up. So honestly, if either one of these squads becomes the aggressor, I feel like they're at a disadvantage.
Seems like there is the incentive to just sit back, play defensive, run the clock. Again, it's only 12 minutes in. We're not going to be seeing the final circle for another 15, 16 minutes. And with 47 players left on the map and some big names still up as well, like A-Rov still alive with the full force squad, seems like everyone's going to want to play it safe instead, as the members of the FFF squad continue to maneuver their way around the map and try to find themselves some better positioning.
See the Mr. Lonely still scouting out Fire Rose, who were able to pick off that one last member of Nara. Still taking their time. Ducey honestly doesn't even need to peek out the side here. I'm shocked they're actually taking shots here. They're looking to try and maybe blow up that vehicle and make it so Just Team don't have an easy way of getting on out there, because Ducey doesn't have to show his head like this. This is really, really risky. Lonely gets himself the heal off in time, but honestly, I'm shocked no one's actually taking responding shots back on over here.
It seems like it's just patient play. You don't have to worry about taking these bullets going right now, because there's no threat unless Fire Rose decides to push the building, unless they have grenades or a crossbow grenade launcher or something to flush this building out. Until they start to get close, you really don't have to worry about pot shots every now and again, because they're so far into the zone. Might as well save the ammunition, hold on till a little bit later, try to play that calm, patient game, because so much of this is just knowing where your opponent is and appropriately handling them.
Still taking their time here. Not a whole lot of action taking place across the map, it would seem, as they're still looking to wait. We see Fire Rose still taking a peek on over here. Question is, what do they want to really do? Over here with Seal, though, they're starting to make their way on in toward logging camps with 2 vehicles to their name, so they have themselves a little bit of a squad brigade coming on through. The convoy strategy we sometimes used to see. They are going to be running into Fire Rose here if they keep on this angle, because they'll run through logging camps directly into Bitter Lake. So we'll see whether or not they decide to do so.
Yeah, and I mean, Seal, they've already gotten 3 top 5 finishes in their past few games. In round 1, they were 3rd. In round 3, they were 2nd. And in round 4, they were 4th. And of those finishes, they've had 4 kills collectively across all 3 of those rounds. That's excluding round 2. So Seal, it makes sense that we're seeing them play it slow and patient once again. Trouble is, they've been spotted out by Fate on this southern side of the map, and eventually they're going to have to move in through logging camps if they want to try to reclaim some terrain, but instead they just maneuver around and avoid all other squads entirely. Yeah.
You shouldn't be seeing Seal team actually be aggressive as our next play zone 3. It's going pretty much dead center in the middle of the map, so we'll have ourselves a little bit of a unique opportunity because we do have the river that now cuts through the exact center. Depending on where our circle shifts, that might become part of the train later on. So we'll have to see whether or not teams start crossing bridges now or later.
For now, though, just waiting out that clock, playing the timer, making sure you're all set and kitted out before those final engages, because 15 minutes in, there are still 47 players. This is going to be a very dense Circle 3, Circle 4, Circle 5 as we start getting in. And we can already see a few teams committing towards a late med strat. As Seal, they had a few members pretty far outside of the zone, might be looking for another med strat. But we'll see how it goes on. As currently Gao are just playing the terrain nice and low.
Yeah, Gao sitting near our top of our standings after they got themselves the win in round 2, and then they lost out on round 3. Still, though, feeling pretty confident with their performance so far tonight at the end of week 5. See Lancer and them going on through. Shot's going to come on through, and that's 2 members that get knocked out of the vehicle. Make it 3. Mr. Lonely gets 2 of them. Akeem also with a good target here. This is Triple F now. They're caught out towards the side. They're just going to go ahead, get taken on down, and that was a quick vehicle skirmish.
Yeah, and Just Squad on the roving Death Squad. Find a full elimination, but Gao are going in. They drop 2 members to try to find one. It's a knock, but Fate are trying to take pot shots against this as well as they find themselves another knock. More damage onto the buildings. It's 3 squads all collapsing at once at the death of 1. Hello Den gets himself knocked and run over as Liam is continuing to run around. Another knock gets traded over. Joel looking to find some picks off across from the other side of the river, but it's Gao who have eliminated Just, looks like entirely.
Yeah, that was the last squad member came, was taken on down, so Just are going to end their day off here toward the bottom of the bracket here in round 5. Still feeling pretty confident with their performance so far in the day after getting 2 back-to-back wins, but we won't see the 3P.
Find themselves with a healthy number of kills, though, over the course of that game. And if the point standing was any indicator, they're still going to be sitting rather comfortably in the standings. Maybe not at first place at the end of this game, but still a lot of opportunity for them to continue to climb as the weeks go on. But now, looking further into this, we're now 17 minutes in, starting to get closer and closer towards that Zone 4, towards those critical tight Zone 5s. But Fury Roads, uh-oh.
This is AL circling around Fury Roads. Still not actually deciding to get out here because AL have themselves 2 vehicles. They gotta be careful though. If they get too close to the house, there should be a good grenade timing coming on through. Fate though taking some shots here into Gao. I wanted to highlight Gao and how well they've been doing today, but now they're under fire from across the river from Fate.
Lamrong has been knocked down. Looks like Denji trying to get in there and go for the save. Arez, looks like it is AL starting to push up into this house. Fury Roads, they're still holding the terrain. They've got Hello split on the other house on the far side.
Nate is getting primed here from Arez. Going to go ahead and try and throw that one in, see if he can pick off any members.
That's a knock.
He does find it onto HD. That should be the call here now from the rest of the squad to say, hey, we want to advance on in. We can go ahead and take down Fury Roads. HD's going to get taken on down. No one's going to try and stop this. Baby Bruno also toward the side. Black going into a 1v1. Gets the one shot there, and that's all it took as the shotgun's going to be enough to take it down. 2 members of Fury Roads are down, and now 2 more to remain.
Yeah, they are falling apart here. Imu in the bathroom, hiding in the shower, constantly peeking over and over to try and waste some ammo, but all it takes is a single grenade to flush him out as his squad has been largely wiped here. Might have a single member elsewhere on the map, but AL finally finding themselves a handful of kills as they rush in, trade knock for knock, but get the elimination.
We see there Black's going to get the finishes onto all the Fury Roads squad members. So Fury Roads, they're going to get eliminated here. Fire Rose is still on par to possibly keep their game hope alive for the organization in Game 5. Of the sister team. See some shots here on Seal from Fate. Seal says, nope, don't want to deal with Fate.
Yeah. It's the question, is there somebody in this building? Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I think they're in this building.
Ding, ding, ding. We're out.
They have pulled in, though, and Fate are still sitting down across from the opposite side of Seal's squad. It seems like we've seen these two teams come face-to-face multiple times. It's actually End and Sanji running a duo strategy right now. The other two members of Seal nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, not too sure where that is, as I can hear some chicken shots coming on through. Not actually landing here as they're looking to just take down this vehicle, because Dave John can actually see this. So Seal's one form of escape, now not hidden. Very well, actually. That could have been hidden much better. But now they have to deal with all these angles. And Seal, fortunately, they're in this crosshair of some poachers across the street.
Riven has the shot lined up. If Sanji steps up, he's going to take some bullets real quick, but doesn't step forward. Hwang-an on the other side. And Sanji trying to provide some cover as he pops open the door for Sanji, who's continuing to use that third person. He has to know Riven has got eyes on him right now. But still, he's just hugging the corner of that grenade. There's the grenade, and no, End steps up and immediately gets knocked down and eliminated by Riven. Risky play. Not entirely sure why he stepped out of the house onto the grenade.
Well, that's the riot shield saving Sanji, but another nade's coming on down. It's going to connect. He's down to 1/3 of his health bar. Needs to start running. Unfortunately, he's gotten really nowhere left to go. He does have his fellow teammate over toward the other side. They seem to be a little bit isolated, not too sure exactly where they can go with this one.
The Fate squad are still just taking shots. Hwang-an inside of the building, and that's a good knock from Hwang-an onto Dave on that top side, but still 3 members of Fate are going to continue to provide fire as Seal. They've only got Hwang-an pushing up in this building and Sanji on the back side of it. Let's see if he's going to try and push up and give some secondary fire to Hwang-an, or if they instead decide to sit defensive inside of the zone and just try to drag it out.
Yeah, we're going to have our next closing, and that circle is not too kind to either one of these squads. They have spotted out, though, the one vehicle that Fate has hidden inside of the building, and they're going to try and go ahead and probably blow it up. So Fate won't likely have this vehicle, and unfortunately, there's only this bridge to the right. They could try and walk across the river, but it would be pretty dangerous here as AL looking to skirmish once again. They have all 4 members going around the side here. They're going toe-to-toe here with A-Rob. They've already taken down Iron Pro and Law Pro, but Small Boy does remain, takes down Black. Let's see what Small Boy can do.
He managed to get the execution just after Bateris, just going for the chase to try to get him out of there. 2 members of A-Rob have been knocked. They're limping around, trying to hide behind the trash can and buy time. Baby is dead. Small Boy can't turn around in time. He gets knocked, and that's A-Rob losing 3. And it looks like AL will be the squad to clean them up.
So AL, they take 1 casualty, but they do pick themselves up 3 kills. There's still 1 member of A-Rob still remaining somewhere on the map. We see Joel now trying to make his advance here toward the bridge, maybe try and sneak on over toward that truck. Has the nade, looking to cook it on over, and they're going to go for a split breach. 1 in the front, 3 in the back as they go ahead and take down the first member. Sanji gets taken on down. It's only 1 member of Seal now hiding in this house, and then the 1 Medstrat outside. They go ahead, come on through, and they go ahead and take him on down.
Yeah, and Seal lose 3 members. I really like what I saw from Dave Van there, pre-firing as he got to the window. He didn't know exactly where in the house Hwang-an was. He just knew he was somewhere inside. So he moved window to window to window to window while his squad pushed in from the front, firing constant shots. And the moment he saw it, he moved in, went for the clear and kill.
We see Fire Rose now going into a skirmish. We're moving in on to our next circle. There's not a whole lot of buildings still in this one as we see WOE have themselves a little bit of safety here in this compound with the wall. The only issue is it's just a wide open field, and then we have the river that cuts through across. So I guess the real question becomes, what are teams going to bet? Which side of the river are we going to end, or are we going to end straight in the middle?
Especially because, as you've said, that bridge is just south of the incoming play zone. Once that bridge is out of the equation and we start narrowing down, there's going to be a really risky area of the map. That's the last remaining member of A-Rob still alive, Boyka, the single man standing for his squad, the last hope, slowly burning down outside of the zone, needs to heal, but he might not have it. That's why he's running in, and he goes down, killed outside of the safe zone. Bit of a tragedy for the A-Rob squad to be eliminated, but they are out, and 27 players still remain.
Guild not going to be maybe too happy with how this day has gone. They started off strong, but they were not able to keep it up. Meanwhile, Fate, though, tries to just jump on in toward the chaos here, but they get taken on down as Fate's going to be eliminated.
And look at that. The play zone has narrowed
down
in the middle even more onto the river. further pulling these teams into split fights on both sides. But currently, Fire Rose, they're inside of the building on that north side. They're going to have to maneuver through several squads if they want to make their way into the safe area as Calmy finds himself knocked down, and Lees are doing the exact same thing.
Superman finds his kryptonite as he gets taken on down here by Gao as they've made their advance through the house. 2 members still alive. They got some meds they can now work with these dead bodies, perhaps. Fire Rose still in a little bit of an awkward scenario, though. 2 of their members are taken on down in front. They do look like, though, they're able to get the res off onto Jada.
They've got a car if they want to try to drive it in. Just in front of them, you can see blocking that door, but Baby taking some shots, looking for a knock. Trying to find one, but Baby currently acting as gatekeepers. They're outside of the zone. Baby can't move until Fire Rose move, and Fire Rose can't move until Baby moves.
Baby, though, is outside the circle, so they're going to go ahead and have to med up. They do have that vehicle, though. 90 needs to take some shots. Ducey not able to land. He just needs 1 bullet to land in the top chest. Fortunately, though, our circle is counting on down as we advance on to play zone 6.
And now it's going to start narrowing in. Baby looks like they've left 90 behind to keep Fire Rose pinned down, while the rest of Baby has already relocated inside of the zone. This is Baby Borneo moving in. But there it is. That's WOE trying to find Fire Rose. They're rushing into the building to clear them out, and they have absolutely eliminated Fire Rose. It's not even up to Baby who do it. Zeus manages to get 1 knock, but he's still so far from safety. He's killed outside of the zone to the burn as it continues to tick down.
Rule's going to try and heal back up. He does get the meds off in time. We got 14 players remaining as the circle is now closing on in. In about 20 seconds, it's going to start doing double the damage. You can see all these members starting to try and get their vehicles into position so they can try and use them as cover. Look at that. The vehicle, though, is already taken on down. What is Baby trying to do here? Zarav, your fellow teammate, he's done for. There's nothing you can do here at this point. Luckily, it doesn't look like anyone's shooting him from across the river.
There is 0 cover for him right now. He just gets picked off as he steps up as we are narrowing down. Look at that play zone right in the water. Who can survive the longest? Who's got the most members of their squad still left alive? 11 players left. Jeff Pro, he's taking some shots. He's taking some fire, but he's able to turn onto AL Arez on the opposite side and keep him pinned down behind the tree. Luckily, though, Arez is inside the zone. He's got some time to waste, and as long as Borneo keeps on buying time by maneuvering around, he can last a nice long time, but there's the run over. Gwen gets knocked, and Borneo finds himself with a double. And it's just constant shots over and over. Down to 5 players left as the zone is continuing to taper in.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Jeff Pro just finished off, so he's going to get taken on down. It looks like AL have been able to find themselves the victory here with 2 members. Gao's on the other side of the house, looking to keep the meds going. Likely went for the med strat in the end of the day, because look at that. The next circle is actually in the water, so nothing can really happen at this point.
Yeah, Lemrong, he's going to have to start pushing forward if he wants to take this 1 versus 2. There's the med strat from the remaining member of Fate. Looks like there's 1 other person elsewhere on the map as Arez is acting as human bait, and he's even got the boat on the inside if he wants to buy even more times and dance around the seat. But Lemrong, does he have enough time to take a bullet? No, Arez, he wants the kill. He's going to try to bully him out himself.
Maybe not too sure exactly where the Gao member is. He's got to be careful, though, because if Lemrong actually decides to get on over here, he does have the car trying to spray around the side here, is not able to land the shot, so Arez has to be careful. Lemrong is in the circle, though. He's able to keep himself alive. He's not draining any damage.
But Baby Borneo is on the other side of the river, adding backup to Arez. All he has to do is flush Lemrong out of this cover, and he can get the final kill. As John Cena dies outside of the zone, the med strat starting to taper down, but the zone is closing in. Arez just needs to get this elimination here, and Baby Borneo can survive to pick up the squad victory. The team clear. And now outside of the zone, Lemrong already begins healing up because he knows he's got a limited amount of time to act.
He's going to try and do something here. He's going to go ahead and try and run around to the right side, try and fake them out. He gets himself to the tree. Baby Borneo, he's in the water. Arez can actually get eliminated here. Baby Borneo gets a lot of damage on top of him. Arez taking what he can. It might be a 2v1 pull-off here for Gao.
The reload.
As they're looking to try and get another one. Arez on the bot.
That's
he
one.
Gets taken on down. Baby Bruno
and
coming over to
that's
2. And Gao somehow find themselves the victory.
Now Seal is on the outside. Thuck is still alive and burning down, but outside of the zone.
If he actually got out of the car and started shooting him, that could have been it. But Seal, it's not going to be enough. Gets himself behind the house. It's not there. Gao taking the victory. Oh! Lemrong, let's go.
The attempted hero play at the end ends up working out. AL, they had the position, but they didn't have the finish.
Baby Borneo, the question becomes, I don't know the decision-making there. Deciding to try and go through the river seemed a little bit risky. You already saw he was lit up by the last member of Gao here. Erez was, I guess the juke out actually worked because I guess they were expecting him to follow with the circle. Instead, he decided to heal on out, go right, and then try and go for that flank.
And it was an absolutely risky scenario for AL. They had all of the positioning. Perhaps Baby just didn't have enough meds. He couldn't survive outside of the zone as it was ticking in. So he tried to play the clock.